Hello guys, so yesterday I posted a video, I'm putting it here, where I was talking about jobs in Winkler, and due to the question somebody asked me if there was job in Winkler being a small town and all that, so I posted it yesterday and got a comment today. I don't even know if it was today or yesterday, so I just want to address it. I usually see such comments in other people's videos on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, targeting immigrants, like you come to our country to take our job, go back, don't take our jobs, blah, you're making us not to get jobs and all that. And I usually am not happy about that. Naturally, I won't be happy about that kind of comment, and I sometimes respond, sometimes I just pass. But this one coming directly to my video, I feel I should address it because yeah, he came knocking on my door, and I believe this person is in Winkler, so that's why I just want to address it. So now you're asking us to stop coming to your country and we should stop taking our jobs. So I would like to ask you some questions. So how do people qualify for jobs here or anywhere? How do you think people qualify for jobs? So you may not know the answer for you to post that comment. So the answer is that people get qualified for jobs after they go through some processes, after some interviews, and the employer deems them fit for the job, and then they're employed. So if you claim people come here to take your jobs, it doesn't really make sense to me, because jobs are not given, like they're not handed out to people on a platter of gold. They're not just, people don't just line up and get jobs. No, people actually work towards getting a job. So immigrants come in and prepare, and they go through the interview process along with people that are already here, with citizens, and yeah, we go through the same interview process and then we qualify. So if you are in a position whereby you've been applying for jobs, you've not been called, or you've been going through interviews and you're yet to get a job, then you should look inward. It's not a matter of people coming in to take your job. No, it's a matter of you looking inwards to yourself to know the reason why you are not getting those jobs. If you qualify for a job, you're going to get it. So yeah, immigrants coming in may limit the number of jobs you can get, but it's not a case of because we are here, that's why you're not getting a job. No, it's not correct. So you telling us to please stop coming here to take our jobs, it goes a long way to show your kind of person. So now the government is the one that made the immigration policy, and this policy has been on ground for years immemorial, even maybe before we were born, maybe before you were born. Immigration has always been on the Canadian agenda, and the reason why the government does that, in case you don't know, is because they feel they need people to build the economy. They need us to build the Canadian economy. So if they feel that they're okay, they don't want people in their country, they're self-sufficient, like their human resources is enough to build the economy, then they're not going to call people to come in. Do you know how many immigration policies are out there? Do you know how many immigration pathways are out there? Manitoba has its own. You may not know, so let me let you know. So Manitoba has its own, aside from the general one. Manitoba has its own. They have not even its own, they have various types of immigration pathways for Manitoba alone. You come in through family sponsorship, you come in through, maybe you have work experience here, you come in through strategic pathways, you come in different ways. And recently they made another one, the Winkler Stanley immigration pathway. So that is to show you that your government needs us. They need immigrants, they need people to come in to build the economy. They need people to come and fill in job vacancies. They need people to come, and they have jobs in demand. They need human resources. They need people from the world to come in to do those jobs for them here. Because why? They feel it's not enough. The workforce in Canada is not enough to build the economy the way they want it to be. So we coming here is like a favor to you guys. It's a privilege for us to be here. We really love it here, but it's not like we just woke up to decide to come to Canada. If there was no policy in place to welcome us all here, we won't be here. But your government is doing everything possible to make sure that the immigration whatever is like I don't even know how to put it, like it's a top agenda in your government if you don't know. So if you're not getting a job, I don't know what your circumstance is. If you're not getting a job, then you should look inwards. As I said earlier, I do see such comments in people's videos targeting a particular immigrant in particular, but mostly targeting a particular race. I'm not going to call names, you guys know them. You guys feel like, okay, those particular people come in, take your jobs, take in managerial positions, and then they prevent your people from getting jobs. That one is a different thing entirely. And that one also goes to show that for immigrants to be able to come in and take up managerial positions and employ their people, it goes a long way to show that if you guys are qualified for that position, then it's going to be a tough ride. It's going to be a war for them to be able to employ their people and not employ you. You understand? So there are a lot of jobs that we immigrants have occupied. Like if you go to an organization, let's look at like a care home, for example. You take a care home and then you look at the whole employees. Look at the number of immigrants in the workforce in that particular place. Look at it. It's sometimes more than half of the workforce are immigrants. Go to banks, go to anywhere, go to supermarket, go to anywhere. You notice that it's the immigrants that are becoming the majority of the employees in that place. It goes a long way to show you that you guys need us. You need immigrants to come help your economy. You guys cannot do it alone. Look at the US, look at the UK. That is what happens in first world countries. They need people to come build their economy. So thank you for commenting on my video. It goes a long way to show that you watched it. I hope you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe and like my video. Thank you for taking the time to watch and to comment. Not everybody comments on my video. I like the engagement. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it, honestly, I do. And I just wanted to use this to enlighten you that we're not here to take your jobs. Everybody has equal share. Whenever there's a vacancy, they publicize it everywhere. It's published everywhere, and then people that feel they're qualified actually apply. And it is now the employer that filters the CVs, the resumes, to see who is fit, who is not fit for an interview. At that point, a lot of people are dropped. And then the ones that the employer feels are okay pass to the next stage for an interview. So if they interview like 10 people and only one person come out successful, it means that person is qualified than the other ones. The person did well than the other ones. So it may even be a case of you don't have any immigrant in this country, it's just you guys, and then you in particular still go for an interview and you're not chosen. So it is not a matter of the system, it's a matter of you. I have applied for different jobs. I have applied for different jobs before getting my current job, and I was not even called for interview. Nobody even responded to me that hey, we saw your resume and you're not qualified. Just a few sent me email that unfortunately we cannot go on with you and all that. So that means I was not qualified for that job. I've done several interviews that I was not eventually picked. That means the employer didn't deem me fit. So it's common sense, you know. So I just felt I should address this. And for people watching this that usually have this mindset that immigrants are coming in and taking their jobs, please go rethink it. We have parents that come out to say that their children do not get jobs anymore, that children cannot get jobs because of immigrants and all that. It doesn't make sense. It's bullshit. Like, it doesn't make sense. I know there are cases whereby some employers are now taken over by a certain set of immigrants, and those people deliberately want their people alone to work in that place. I know that one is something we cannot control, but I acknowledge that. But don't just generalize it like that. It happens everywhere. No, if your child is qualified, are you sure that your child really wants to work? That is something. Because your child may not even want to do that job, and then you force the child to go do that interview. The person will not even prepare. That child will not even prepare for the interview. The person will just come and embarrass himself and go, and he won't get the job. So don't always think that your children are not getting jobs because of immigrants, because the jobs are taken by immigrants. No, your child does not qualify for that. Before I came in, I've always talked of this story. I got my PR, and before coming into Canada, I got my permanent residency. So I started applying for jobs. I applied for a bank job, From back home, I got my first interview, my second interview, and the only reason why I did not get that job was because the time they wanted the person to resume, that was the time I was going to be landing Canada as an immigrant. So they just felt that it would be like a huge change for me just landing and resuming this job, which I don't have. I have banking experience, but I don't have Canadian experience. And again, I was being interviewed with somebody else that was currently in this town, someone that was already available to resume at that date. And that was why that person was picked. So it goes a long way to show that I did very well for me to scale the second interview. And the only reason why I was not picked was because of that. And when I came in, got my Canadian experience, I worked in a restaurant. I eventually still applied for that same job, for that same bank, for another role, and I got the job. I'm sure I interviewed with other people too. I interviewed with other Canadians, but I was picked. So, am I making sense? So, if you're looking for a job or you want to achieve something, stop looking for excuses or things that don't make sense. Concentrate on yourself, focus on yourself, and work towards getting that job, towards getting that thing. Stop giving excuses. If your government did not want immigrants in their country, there is no way I will be here. There is no way we immigrants will be here. Your country needs us. You guys need us. We need you guys too. So the earlier we know this, the better for everybody. So thank you so much. I hope you get to watch this. The person that commented on this, I don't know if it's a male or a female, but it doesn't matter. Thank you for giving me this video idea, and please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. See you in my next one. Bye.